it big enough and we have no excess in this here, we're going to go ahead and pull on that bottom loose part to go ahead and pull that all the way in just like so. Now we got some real form, huh? Okay. Now we're down to the 2 part. Now here, it's just a matter of taking this here, pulling on it just like so, taking that bottom one there, and I would suggest holding onto the beads as you go ahead and tighten it through. I'm actually holding onto the bottom portion of the string with my middle finger and my thumb just to go ahead and make sure it stays tight. Now once you go ahead and once you're actually about this far, you can go ahead and let go of the string on this part because it will actually stay tightened. So we're going to hold on to that part. Now as you can still see, it's still quite a bit loose. So we're going to go ahead, pull that part up, make sure that that part's nice and tight, hold on to the string and go from there. Same thing with the next one. Just go ahead and run the string through. And there you have it. As you keep going along, you'll notice it really starts to get out that form we got. There we go. We're just going to keep on pulling the loops that we just keep making, passing them on to the next one, so that way we get rid of all of the excess. And we're just going to keep on going down. Once we get over here, now it becomes a little bit more difficult, because now we got a lot more beads we got to work with instead of just the 2. Now, the loop right here actually happens to be right there. So we're just going to go ahead and pull on that. Make sure that's nice and tight. I'm going to go ahead and take on the bottom one down here. And just keep pulling on that to make sure that it's nice and tight. We're going to take the top one right up here. We're just going to go ahead and pull on that, shortening up that loop on the bottom. Make sure that's nice and tight. And once you get all the way down to here, now you're just going to pull on the string at the very bottom. And there you go. Now we have our nice, neat little patch. Cool, huh? Now you may ask how we go ahead and connect it from there. Definitely not as difficult as you might think. Okay, so now that we have our patch, as you can see, if we hover over it, matches up, looks good, matches up over here, that looks good. Now comes the scary part. Now is actually where you're going to go ahead. You're going to cut the bikini. Don't worry, as I can go ahead and show you, the whole thing doesn't unravel once you cut it. As you can see, these are just loose ends. There's no knot tied on it, holding its form just fine, isn't it? If we pull on it, look at that. Doesn't even move. Nice and snug. That's what happens if you tighten it properly. Now if you can't get it that tight, don't worry about it. A little bit loose is perfectly okay, but the tighter you can get it, the better it is. Now the thing is I use extremely good string when I do this. Now the thing is, and I always ship out my bikinis with a lot of extra string on it, usually a lot more than this. So you can just go ahead and use that excess string once you go ahead and you actually have where you want to, basically how long you want the neck. Because as you can see, it's quite a bit of excess. Your neck's not going to be that big. So you're going to take off beads, and when you can join it and you cut off the string, use the excess string that I gave you. Okay? Okay, so now we have our patch and we have our original piece here. As you can see, we are going from a 6 wide to a 4 wide. Now, this part's a little bit critical, apparently just like everything else, and what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and cut this piece. here, and here. Now the reason why we're going to go ahead and do this is we could cut it right there, because that's actually where we're going to be joining it. However, we're going to go ahead and cut one before. And I'm going to go ahead and show you why. And the reason why is because that'll give us a little bit of excess string. Now, truth be told, you can actually cut this anywhere, so if you really want the extra string, we can go ahead and cut all the way back here. So let's go ahead and do that. Normally we would cut right here, but we're going to go ahead and cut right here. So, we're going to cut once, and only once, per side. Bam, there we go. What you can go ahead and do, just go ahead, start pulling off. We're just going to sort of unravel it a little bit to go ahead and give us a bunch of excess string here, okay? And once we get to here, that's where we're going to go ahead and stop. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the end of it there. Because as you start to unravel things, the end of the string gets a little frayed. So now once we're here, we go ahead and we can put up our pattern here, and look at that. What do you know? Matches up perfectly, doesn't it? See? Okay. So, now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take this top string, pull it through the top of our patch. Right there. And there we go. We're going to go ahead and run it through the top of that blue one right there. I'm going to go ahead and leave that open, that way we can go ahead and see, again, exactly how it's going to come together. Now from the top, or excuse me, from the bottom, we're going to go ahead and pull it through, just like that. Then our next one is going to be that red one there.